Think about this for a minute. Stress, the stress that you feel, it's a habit. Now I know what you're thinking. Now you're thinking, you don't know my life. You don't know what I have to deal with every day. My boss, my kids, my schedule, all the stuff I have to get done. There's too much to do and not enough time. Yes, I know. I've been there too. I've been that guy spinning the plates on the sticks, trying to run around and making sure nothing dropped. But stress is a habit. Consider this. Stress is an emotion. It's actually a combination of several emotions working together. But as an emotion, stress originates and is stored in your body. Now it starts in your brain. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala, also known as the lizard brain. Now the lizard brain is that part of your brain that helps you survive. For example, if a lion or a tiger or a bear is about to attack you, your lizard brain is what helps you move fast. If you run across a lion or a tiger or a bear, you don't want your analytical brain going into action going, what should I do? What are my options here? I don't really know for sure. By that time you would have been eaten. The lizard brain bypasses all of that analytical thought and makes you act immediately. Now, for most of us, we don't risk being eaten by lions and tigers and bears, but if a bus is bearing down upon you, the lizard brain is what helps you jump out of the way before you get run over. That's made for our survival. Here's how your brain and body work together to make stress a habit for you. Something will happen, and you immediately think a thought about the thing that happened. And your thought comes in the form of a story. So you have this story to make a meaning about what happened to you. And then that thought creates a signal to your body to create chemicals to make you feel like you think. Your thought triggers feelings in your body. And then the body produces those chemicals and sends signals back up to your brain so that you think the way that you feel. And it creates this loop of thinking and feeling related to this thing that happened to you. And it happens in seconds. Your body does this. And you're doing this all the time. You're thinking and feeling. But if something happens to trigger that response of feeling and it bothers you, or it's something that is ongoing, you're thinking and feeling the same thing over and over, you can take away the original thing that happened, and as you remember, you produce the same chemicals, think the same thoughts, feel the same feelings, and it's this loop that creates what I call a state of being. And these states of being are memories of events that have happened and the way you feel and the stories that you tell that you store in your memory, and the feelings and emotions are stored in your body. And you play these things over and over. We all do that. It's natural. It's part of how we navigate through the world, by remembering those things that we experienced and the feelings and the thoughts that we have around them. And when you play those same loops over and over, you go through your day on autopilot. You don't have to think. You get up from the same bed. You do the same things in the morning. You drive to work the same way. You do the same job. You see the same people. You go home, watch the same TV shows. You see the same people on Facebook. You don't have to concentrate on those things because you're doing them automatically. You and I, all of us, live most of our lives on autopilot. We live our lives by habit. And that includes the emotions that we feel, including stress. So stress is a habit. I first talked about this subject of stress being a habit on a Facebook Live a couple of days ago. And after I did, my wife, Brenda, came to me and said, I know a lot of women who are in pretty stressful situations. They're dealing with narcissists, they've got a lot of issues, and they've got stuff going on that they don't have a choice over in their life. And so for them, stress really isn't a habit because it's happening all the time. There's new things that are causing them to be stressed. How can that be a habit? So I thought about this, and it's like, it is still a habit. even though stress is ongoing, even though you're in a situation that you really can't change right away or take something drastic, those stress responses, the way that you and I deal with stress, comes from habit. It's those state of being loops of thinking and feeling that we develop over and over. We don't create new ones when a stressful situation is ongoing. We develop the same loops of thinking and feeling because we're trapped or we're stuck in that situation that feels stressful. Could be a job, could be somebody you have to deal with and you can't withdraw from. There's a lot of things that cause stress, but we deal with them with the same thoughts and feelings. Let me give you an example. This week, Brenda, my wife, said something to me, and she meant it one way, I took it another way. And the thing that she said made me feel like I was doing something wrong, or that she thought I was doing something wrong, that I should have been doing what I was doing differently. And that wasn't what she said at all. Her tone of voice and her words didn't correspond to my reaction, because my reaction was I heard her tone of voice saying, "You're wrong. You shouldn't be doing that." She wasn't saying it at all. But I was hearing that voice from the past. I was living in that state of being, of thinking and feeling from past things that have happened. You know how it is when you're in a relationship and you've had arguments, and so the thing that you're talking about, or the thing that you're fighting about, the thing that you're disagreeing about, isn't really the thing that is driving it. It's the feelings from the past. Oftentimes you can see an argument developing. You can see an argument just getting ready to start. And you could almost say word for word what you're going to say and what your partner's going to say and how you're going to feel. And because you've done it before, we all get into these habits of responses. That's what happened to me. She said something, and instead of responding to the real thing, I was playing back this habit loop, this feedback state of being loop that made me totally misunderstand and not respond to the present situation. Of course, I didn't realize any of this at the moment. It took me a little bit of time before I realized, hey, wait a minute, I'm out of line here. I shouldn't have responded that way. I'm still working to learn how to identify those habit states of being loops that don't work, that are causing me to not live the kind of life that I want to live. And see, when I started transforming my life, when I started this process and started actually making some headway on transforming my life, I wasn't trying to reduce my stress. I was trying to get free from some of the roadblocks, from some of the limiting beliefs that I've carried for all of my life. That's what I was working on. The side benefit was I was able to get rid of a lot of the stress from my life. I was able to get more done, be more productive, and focus, and have less stress than I had before. That's what living from the inside out is all about. Taking the values that I have inside and bringing them to the outside so that I am living the kind of life that I want to live. One of the tools that I use, I offer for free for people who are part of my email group. Now, if you are not part of the email group, click down below, look down below and find the link. Give me your email address and your name. I'll get you on the list. And I'll give you the tool that I used and still use to start transforming my life, to start living the kind of life that I want to live and getting rid of stress. 5 minutes a day is all it takes to start. Look below, find that link, and I'll see you next time.